Welcome to the phone-in segment where your voice matters, and today we'll be looking at, a very devastating issue that it's on the lips of everybody. People are not really happy about this issue going on in Benue State. Today we're asking a very important question that touches the very heart of leadership, empathy, and accountability. Presidential condolence visit, a measure of good leadership. Now, at moments of a national tragedy, whether from terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or communal violence, Nigerians have looked to their leaders, particularly the president, not just for security, but for a human connection, a voice of comfort, and a show of presence. Historically, presidential condolence visits have served as both symbolic and strategic gestures, a way for the commander-in-chief to reassure grieving communities that their pain is recognized and that their lives matter. It's a moment when leadership is tested not just by policy, but by presence. Let's take a look at some notable examples from the past. Now, in 2018, following the mass killing of over 70 people in Benue State, then President Muhammadu Buhari eventually visited Makurdi weeks after public outrage over perceived silence. While the visit was heavily criticized for coming too late, it nevertheless sparked debates about the role of condolence visits in national healing. In 2014, former President Goodluck Jonathan drew criticism for not immediately visiting Chibok following the adoption of over 270 schoolgirls, a decision that may believe impacted public perception of his leadership at the time. Conversely, in 2022, President Buhari's visit to Borno State after multiple insurgent attacks was hailed by some as a sign of commitment to frontline communities, especially when tied to policy pledges for rebuilding. In each case, the question remains, are these visits genuine acts of compassion or politically calculated optics? Do they bring relief to affected communities or simply serve as ceremonial rituals that fail to address root problems? The debate has been reignited with the planned visit of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Benue State on Wednesday, following a series of deadly attacks by armed invaders in areas such as Yalwata in Guma local government area, Gwa West, Ukum, and Agatu, which have claimed dozens of lives in recent weeks. Communities in Benue have repeatedly expressed frustration over the seemingly lack of urgency from the federal government, despite recurring violence that has turned thousands into internally displaced persons. As President Tinubu plans this visit, reportedly his first since assuming office, many Nigerians are watching closely. Will the visit offer more than words? Will it translate into concrete security reforms and justice for victims? Or will it be another high-profile moment with little long-term impact? Today, we open the phone lines to hear from you, our viewers. What do you think? Is a presidential condolence visit a mark of good leadership or just a public relations exercise? Should leaders be judged by their physical presence in times of tragedy or by the policies and results that follow? Has any condolence visit in recent memory made you feel seen or forgotten? Call in now and be part of the conversation. Your voice matters. You can call in. The numbers are displayed on your screen. You can also send a WhatsApp message. Lilian. Do you feel or do you think that the condolence visit by the president to the people of Benue State is late? Because, I mean, this killing did not just start just yesterday.
First of all, when I saw the killings, the presidency responded after the Pope spoke about it. Let's take the first caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Thank you very much. I'm calling from Benue State.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Benue State. In fact, local government. My name is Ishaq Udauda.
Good morning, Ishaku. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Lilian, you're welcome back.
Thank you. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Your policy. See, whether the president visits or the president did not visit, today in Nigeria, in every state in Nigeria, we must agree to live together. We must agree to live together. Now, the issue of godfatherism, is the cause of some of the crisis here right now in Benue State. And then again, injustice. When you say you carry somebody's cow without a reason, justified reason, you pick away people's cow and wait away. Don't expect an animal to forgive you. He will come back for his cow because that is his source of living. So you carry their cow and you did not tell the reason why for picking their cow. It's also corruption. These are the cause of these things. It is not the presidential visit. We both agree to live together. We must live together as a brother and sister. All of us are born in this country. Everybody has a right in Nigeria. There is nobody that is bigger than others in this country. So why should injustice be perpetrated in this country? Fulani lives on cow. That is the source of living. So if you say he has entered your farm, punish him for entering your farm, but don't collect his cow unjustly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ishaku, for calling from Benue State. So
Yeah,
I think you just gave us heads up of what really is the cause of the violence in Benue State.
It's quite, I must commend him. It's quite difficult to remain objective in the face of what is happening.
Sure.
But I'll still say this, nothing equates the human life. I mean,
nothing.
He took your animals, he took what he took, but a life of a human being does not equate it. Good morning, Ade.
Good morning, Ade.
Good morning, how are you?
Fine,
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much for calling. Please kindly go ahead, share your thoughts.
I'm always very objective, very objective. If you listen to the first caller, that is exactly the problem of Nigeria. He has implicated himself. Say somebody rear cow. I'm sure he's a heist man. So say somebody rear cow, he sold his cow. He says that's what he's living by. So because of cow, 100 people will be slaughtered, 200 human beings will be slaughtered because of cow. That is that problem of Nigeria. Everybody must live together in Nigeria. We have been living together for years. But that does not mean you trespass on my own rights. No. If your freedom is limited to yourself, not to trespass on others' lives. Over 200 souls lost. If somebody was nice here, yesterday they were telling us on this television today in London that they were showing us image of a man, that the man do sexual harassment for a lady yesterday in cinema. And the picture of the man has gone very well, everywhere, video, all over. And they will soon arrest him. That's how a country should behave. Because of a cow, then woman being are slaughtered. That's foolishness. It makes me very angry. I mean, what is cow? Cow is what you buy and slaughter. If somebody stole your cow, arrest the person, go to the police, let them arrest him and charge him to court. And he will pay for it. But because somebody killed cow, then start slaughtering people in Benue, like woman being has turned to a chicken in Nigeria. It's embarrassing to hear because it's show on CNN, on BBC. Because of cow. I mean, I don't agree to this. It makes me very upset. Because when you kill a father and mother, the children becomes orphan. Who takes care of them? This is a country that we don't have insurance, we don't have a social security benefit like we have here. Nobody take care of them. So you want to rear your cow, go and do what do you call it? This thing. No, there is no law for grace now. You have to pay. And you don't need to take care of your cow and be going to people's farm. They try it in my state, they can't do that anymore now. As a matter of fact, the last one they did, thunder, kill all the cow, thunder. Nobody was there. So that teach them a lesson. Nobody take cow to this thing. We're talking about woman being here. Greater tomorrow. It takes woman 9 months to labor and to to nurture that child and to grow up and to go to school, and somebody will come because of animal and slaughter them, and you are saying we should live together. So living together, it means that your cow should go to somebody's farm. I encourage the president to return those people who have been made IDP, to return them to their town. They should go back to their villages and drove off all those asthma who take over their villages. They should drive them off. Let them go back to their... That is the way this problem can be solved. Otherwise, when the American president intervenes now, the president will be shaking. Government will be shaking in Nigeria. They will sanction them because they will tell me that they are killing Christians. And this is not the case, but it can be turned to anything. We shouldn't wait for Donald Trump to intervene before we do the right thing. Put police there, put army there, let them go back to their village. Why should we be having IDP camps? It doesn't make sense. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria, Ade. You know, I saw a clip yesterday where the community members were actually commending the Nigerian police force of being, because what they said was that they attacked the police station first before they came down to the communities, so they disarmed the people. Even at that, the police still tried their best, you know, in protecting the few they can. Nothing equates a human life.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And it still begs the question, what actually is the value of a human life? Does it equate to a cow?
Okay, I think we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where you're calling from? I'm very well, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please kindly go ahead.
I'm Mr. Jibril Mama from Nasarawa State.
Thank you so much, Jibril, for calling.
Please, if sometimes people will comment, if something happens, they will comment. We are all human beings. By using, you know, this thing that happened is very painful. It's very painful. But if someone will comment, let him know the kind of ways that he will use. Cow, human being is more than cow. And then Mr. Ishaku that he responded, that my brother. You see, this thing is happening. When you look at it, it can occur, or the way you look at it, it can occur with him. But this thing that happened is very painful. You cannot buy life of human being. Please, we brothers, if something happens, let us feel it in mind. This thing has happened. It's very bad. It's very bad. That he cannot compare life with cows. Cow was saying, a man can buy cow of 100. Can you buy life of 100 people? But if he responding, please let us mind some of our ways. We can't compare human being with cow. This thing that happened in Makodi is very painful. It's a human being. And this thing that these are fellow Fulanis are saying, they should stop it. And we have security. We have government. If someone carry your car, you can go and let the complaint. But we should not do like that. We're all human beings. Please, we are appealing to the government. They should look into these problems. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Jibril, for calling in. It's a valid point he made there. We're looking at a possible solution to this problem as Nigerians. You know, we don't want to say, oh, it's Benue State. We're all Nigerians. It's definitely going to affect every single person. So we're looking at, you know, how to bring succor, how to, you know, get solutions concerning this violence in Benue State. Lilian, I think we have another caller on the line.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Hello. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Makodi. My name is Ogazi from Makodi.
All right, okay.
Thank you so much for calling. Please go ahead.
You see, these issues of Fulanis, I don't know why this thing become like this. In olden days when I was a kid, we used to stay with Fulanis. There was no problem. There was no trouble. Fulanis people will wait until when we harvest, our fathers harvest. When they harvest their food finish, then they will bring cows and they will eat. When it is time for farming, those Fulanis, they will go back. But there was no trouble at all in olden days. I don't know why this time around Fulani person will just see somebody farm. Koro, they will carry cow and enter inside. Push those cows and they will eating the food, uprooting the cassava and killing people. I don't know where these things come from. So, like the first caller in Macaulay here is talking about cow. If he's a good human being, can he use that type of statement?
Okay, so
can you buy one life?
Okay, so let me ask you. Hello, are you there?
Ask me.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a news that the president is going to, come on a condolence visit to Benue State. And now the question is, do you think or do you feel that the president's visit to, the president's condolence visit to Benue State will, mark a good leadership? Will it bring some kind of hope to the people of Benue State and Nigerians in the whole? That's the question online. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the court is inside the president's hand. He knows what to do. When somebody bites you, you cannot bite that person back. What is to look for solution that they will solve this problem. So what we want is, if you look at these foreign countries, somebody will just look one area, go and buy and do grazing. So let them do grazing, or let them go to the old system. They should wait when people harvest their food. They will bring cows when it is time for farming. They will go back as usual. We have been doing before. There was no trouble. So I am begging those people to stop. That killing is not good. This life is not our life. It's life of God. And if you kill person at the last day, you are going to answer for it. So all right. Please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in.
So thank you so much. So the question for the show this morning is, we've had several presidential visits to places that are experiencing crisis. We saw President Goodluck Jonathan in Chibok when there was the kidnapping of the Chibok girls. We saw President Muhammad Buhari still in Benue, where we had the Agatu killings that took over 70 lives. There he went to pay a condolence visit. So the question is it a measure of good leadership? Or should more be done to even prevent that visit happening in the first place in terms of carbon security, nipping it in the bud and finding a solution to it from the jump? So is a presidential visit a measure of good leadership, or there is more expectations? Let's take our next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, yes, good morning.
I'm calling from Abuja.
Good morning, Chioma. Thank you for calling.
And I want to say thank you for redirecting the calls. Everybody kept calling and talking of the reasons, cows and all that. That's not the question. The question is the presidential condolence visit a good measure of leadership? Well, from my standpoint, I don't think the president has to go there to implement a solution. He is in a position of power. Not to say his visit is not, showing condolence and solidarity and all that. But I think he's in a position of power. He has the highest authority in the country. He can stay wherever he is, put policies in place, give commands that this thing will not be a reoccurrence. Because when you started, your colleagues started from the time of Jonathan and then Buhari. So they visited. What changed? And in 2 months again, we have this occurrence of brutal killings. It's maybe a month or so ago, we had the same killings in Plateau State. And we saw very horrid pictures where kids' heads were, open in two. And what has it solved? He's visiting. What does it do? The same way there's a flooding somewhere and he visits, what changes? There are things that can be done. There are much more than he visiting Benue State. There are policies that can be put in place. There are commands that can be given. I think the Nigerian government knows what to do. This condolence visit is just, for me, I think, it's my submission anyway, it's just a way to sweep people's feelings under the carpet. Oh, the president came. He means he heard us. Oh, he has us in mind. That is not enough. That is not the solution. There are things that can be done. I would say there are things that can be done. There are commands he can give. There are things that can be put in place that he doesn't have to visit anybody to say, oh, sorry, this happened. Okay, he visits Benue today. What happens in 2 months? He visits wherever next week. What happens again? So the visit is not the solution. I think our Nigerian government should be accountable and, do things that should be done, things they know to do. and not just visiting and making it look like, oh, he heard us, oh, he came. He thinks enough. The president came, and then people are clamoring to even take pictures with him and then say, oh, when president came to Benue State, I was there, I saw him. That's not enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chioma, for calling. And come on, she's absolutely right. I mean, it's not just a visit. What follows after the visit, that is the main question here.
No, I love the point she made, saying that he has the authority to nip it in the bud. People want to see justice. People want to see that their lives are being protected. So from where he is, what is being done? Okay, I have sent out 250 soldiers to go there and see what is happening. The CSO is the chief security officer, or the army chief is there, to see what's going to happen there. Something is being done. The forest is being combed. Let's hear positive things and let the people we don't even need to hear it. Let it come from the people in Benue saying, oh, we saw troops of soldiers marching into the community. Oh, we saw them arresting somebody. Oh, I think they're going to be, grilling somebody today. Let it come from the people there, showing that they are feeling the impact. But your presence, you're going there with heavy security, of course, to protect yourself.
Exactly my point.
So your presence there,
how will you be able to feel, what the people are going through?
So there's really the question still stays though, is the presidential visits to places in crisis, and especially in using Benue as our focal point, is it a measure of good leadership, or, there is more expected from the leaders of the nation, those who are the helm of affairs, who have taken an oath to protect lives and properties, is more expected from them. Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Yeah, this is Jonathan from Benue State.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jonathan.
President visit to Benue is a good measure of leadership. But after the visit, what is the measures that follow? These people will only come and go, just as Choma has said. After coming, there will be no result. What we need to be in place is, at least, we have the security. Our security, these guys are ready. And the most painful thing is, sometimes, like the recent attack in Ukum local government, there was an alert that these herders are coming for like few days before they invaded the land. The killing was much. The governor later went there. We saw what happened and nothing was done. So for the president to come, it's a good one, but the major thing that will follow, if the security, like the other person who said, at least the security should be in that place or a particular place, not only there, wherever there is violence like that, at least the police or the army should be in that place so that the people will be safe. This thing is repeating itself from this place to the other. Who knows when next is going to happen? So for me, his coming is a good one, but not only coming, at least something should be done. That's my take on it.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. He said more should be done. Something should be done beyond just the president's arrival, which makes absolute sense. Nigerians, okay, no problem. You're there. Okay, so what next? Are we still going to see the senseless killings happening? Are we still going to see children being killed in their bed and in their sleeps? Please, the WhatsApp line is open.
Yeah.
So do well to send in WhatsApp messages as early as you can, so we would have the time to take all of them. So you're calling in or you're sending a WhatsApp message to the second number on the screen. So call in or send us a WhatsApp message and we'll be here to take. Please do not send voice notes and do not call the WhatsApp number, or call via WhatsApp. If you're calling in, call in normally and then send your WhatsApp messages and we'll be here to take them. The question still stands. Presidential condolence visit, is it a measure of good leadership? How would you explain that? How would you describe that? How do you feel about the president, cross-board upping to visit states that are experiencing this? Let's hear your thoughts this morning. Now, something else that stood out for me, this morning among everything that has been said, it's not the first time we're having this crisis happen in Benue State. We've seen it happen over and over again. But
okay, Lilian, I think we have a caller on the line. Good morning, I'm Shetima. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Lilian. Good morning, Maimuna.
Good morning,
Good
Shetima.
morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Please kindly share your
Thank you.
thoughts.
Honestly speaking, condolence visit, is it a mark of measure of good leadership? Well, it is. But when you do it on a time, don't allow cool of time. Because if you allow cool of time, the people, they will think that you do not even consider them. You do not even feel what happened. So whatever situation you find yourself as a leader, when such of things happen, you abandon what you are doing to go to the place and condole to the people. Honestly speaking, you see, if a child cries or a child has a problem, if whenever even that thing was not into him, if the mother placed her hand on his back and said, "Baby, I cool down," it will give it a rest of mind. But something will happen. But nobody will go and say to people, something will happen. We are sorry. It is part of our shortcomings. But as a human being, we will do something. This thing will not happen again. So I think it will give the people the rest of mind. But you are in the country, you are there, you are busy, and you do not even consider how many people died, many lives are lost. So you're supposed to go there and stop them. You see, that is why we appreciate our governor here for the Supreme. Honestly speaking, this man, the recent attack in Marte and Zikwa, this man was there in a bush for 8 years. This operation was conducted with him, live, with the soldiers. They are parading from bush to bush, camp to camp for these business people called Boko Haram. He's there with them. So you see, this is the kind of leadership that we want. If something happens to the people, you show your concern. But you cannot just abandon them, forget about them. When some days have them, you just take a private jet and go there. It does not work that way. Leadership is not a childish place. It's a full responsibility. It's a full responsibility. It's not concerned to the people that you are leading. Honestly speaking, this show of concern, it will control the mind of the people. You see, that's the thing that we are calling our leaders to do, and we are praying for such things, these things not to happen again. And we are condoling to the various people. May Allah have mercy on the life of those who have what the past. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you
so much,
Shetima.
Shetima, for sharing your thoughts.
All right, let's take the WhatsApp messages we have for you this morning. Thank you so much, Shetima. Shetima has reiterated that it's more than that and more needs to be done. Nigerians need to know what is the follow-up after the visit. But let's take our WhatsApp messages. We have the first from Nandi Bete from Ogoja in Cross River State. Nandi Bete says, the Yelwata massacre happened on Friday night, and the president is visiting on Wednesday for a town hall meeting with stakeholders to resolve issues and seek solutions to the insecurity. Who are the stakeholders? Will representatives of the marauding terrorists be part of this meeting? With due respect, the president should have flown to Yelwata on Sunday morning for a condolence visit and an on-spot assessment. While it's better late than never, there will be an honest resolve. Hope there will be an honest resolve to stop the killings in Benue, Plateau, Taraba, and to mention just 3 states. I like that question. Who are the stakeholders? Will the representative of those killing the terrorists be part of this town hall meeting? Who would the community members?
Benue State.
Exactly. Will the community members be part of that town hall meeting? Would they point out? Would an arrest be made after the visit? Would more security agencies be put in place after the visit? Who are the people that are coming to sit down with the president to talk about it.
You know, I like the fact that Nigerians are now aware of, things like this. Nigerians are now asking valid questions that matters. Come on, we cannot, on a daily basis keep hearing news of people losing their lives and all of that. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. So, okay, we have another WhatsApp message, but then there's no name and we don't know where you're sending your message from. But, okay, presidential visits won't change anything. State governors has used local military to win elections. We have forgotten Ghana in Benue, who was protected by the state governor, but eventually got killed by soldiers. All this terrorism going on across Nigeria is politically sponsored. Until we remove hatred, bias, bitterness, jealousy, and corruption from our mindset, nothing will change.
Indeed. Well, do also put your name at the end of the message next time you're sending one. We have the next message from John from Abuja. John says, good morning, Trust TV. The president's visit will not change anything. These attacks are carried out by militias and armed bandits, not really the normal Fulani herders we've been living with. This is an agenda of land grabbing sponsored by some people in power. The criminals have sponsors in government who give them information. The president has to rise up and put an end to this. He can do it if he's willing. This reminds me of a quote. I cannot remember who. I'm not certain if it's Gaddafi, who says, if insecurity lasts for more than 24 hours, it is sponsored by somebody in power.
Yes.
And this is actually what it's saying, because you cannot tell me that the Nigerian army, with all the intelligence it has, the Nigerian police can decide to track a car that was stolen. You cannot tell me that they cannot track bandits who are untrained, trained or untrained, however it is. You cannot tell me that they cannot track these people and know where they are.
But come on, Lilian, even the governor himself acknowledged that during an interview, I think early this year in one of the TV stations, he was a guest on their show. He acknowledged the fact that this particular violence is financially supported by some leaders. So the leaders, what are you doing about it? Call them out, for goodness sake. This state is not only for, it is also your state. You are the leader of that state, and everything rests solely on you. So people will definitely call you out. People will ask you questions. People are losing their lives on a daily basis, for goodness sake. We have mothers, like you rightly said. We have children. Come on, it's so devastating, honestly. It's so devastating and sad. Okay, we have another message from Mubarak Isa Abakar from Jos, and he says, good morning, presenters. Good governance is typically characterized by accountability, responsiveness, transparency, and effective service delivery, particularly in addressing citizens' needs and ensuring security as a topmost. President Tinubu's planned condolence visit to Benue State can be labeled as a symbolic gesture of empathy and responsiveness, but it alone does not constitute a robust measure of good governance. Good governance requires sustained, effective action to address the root causes of the crisis, ensure accountability, and deliver tangible outcomes for security. The visit could be a step towards good governance if followed by concrete policies that will provide a lasting solution to the prolonged killings in the state and the nation at large.
Indeed.
Sure, indeed.
Indeed, if followed by concrete policies is what Nigerians are looking forward to. Well, we're waiting and we're watching. To see. And we'll be here to talk about the visit when it happens. We'll be here to talk about the aftermath, because that is what we do on Trust TV. We bring the stories to your doorstep and we analyze and critically look deeply into issues that affect us as Nigerians and how we could hold our government accountable a lot more. But having said that, we've come to the end of this segment. We'll be doubling back on this conversation, but we'll be looking, as a whole on, the insecurity in Nigeria, analyzing the gaps and the cost of human lives and also the economy, everything surrounding it in our discussion segment. So we're having our guest here in the studio. So do stay tuned. We'll be right back.